by any means necessary. What you have can save not just America, but this whole planet. Change is upon our shoulders. It's going to be our job to revolutionize the world. Change will only come through struggle.
Бунт, погром, восстание, мост заключенных.
We're here with Olowa, and we were just part of and filmed a March for Justice down here. And could you tell us a little bit about, what it was all about and what was going on?
Okay, over 15 years ago, Wallace Black Elk and Ron Hardheart were found murdered just right over here, and their bodies were mutilated. And ever since then, there's been no justice for them. There's always hearsay about what happens, that there were some young white men who come into Whiteclay very regularly and they beat on the street people. So, Wallace and Ron, they have homes and they have land and families and everything, but they choose, their addiction brings them here, brings everyone here. And they were here one night and someone came across them. I don't know the exact story of what happened, but they were murdered, very brutally. There's a lot of rumors about what happened, but again, I'll say it again, there's never been any justice for Wallace and Ron. There's never been no one's never served time, no one's ever been charged criminally for their deaths. It's as if they don't matter in the eyes of some. But to us, those are our relatives. So we've been coming here for 15 years marching against Whiteclay. There's been so many actions against this little border town right here. There's only 12 people that are registered to live in this town, a population of 12. And they're making, anywhere $3 million a year selling alcohol to our people. And they say, drinking alcohol is a choice, but if you're a chronic addicted to alcohol, no, it's not a choice. There is no choice in the matter. So we have a lot of relatives that live on the streets up here all year round. It could be dead of winter and you'll find relatives still panhandling on the street for their drink here. And they try to say that, it's our fault. And it's not their fault. These liquor store bar owners, some of them are generational. Their white privilege has them believing that they have the right to continue to do this to our nation. And, our generation, the generation of born free thinkers, we're saying hell no, not anymore.
Now, what's the next step?
Well, there's many steps being taken right now.
Watch out behind you.
Oh, snap.
Is there going to be issues here?
Oh yeah, well, I personally, I have charges, pending charges and outstanding warrants in Nebraska, which is why I didn't. Yeah, which is why I didn't. No, we're cool right where we're at.
Okay.
Which is why I didn't march through because I got these warrants and they're trying to pin a lot of the things on myself. And T.R. McKenzie, he's one of our allies, and he has charges and he's on probation as we speak right now to stay out of Whiteclay for our direct actions that we took here. We wanted to bring really strong awareness to this place, and the only way that we thought as young people are going to shake the cages of not only these bar owners but the mentality of our relatives is to shake some cages, just let them know that things are going to change. So we did some direct action, some very direct action that took place here, and we're proud of that fact, because the distributor all the way in Scottsbluff, Nebraska, he knows who we are. We had to single out his trucks a few times, so that way he knew that we're serious about this. So everyone's approach to to get rid of Whiteclay is different. I personally believe that the only way to do it is direct action. We're going to have to literally take it down ourselves, and we can follow the lead of our relatives who cleansed their town in Harding, Montana. They did the same thing there. They went through their whole town in one night and burned every single bar and liquor store down. They did that for their love of their community. And, for the love of my nation, I'm willing to do these things, but we have elders, we have protocol, so as young people, we have to follow those also. So I really believe there will come a time when our relatives here, when the homeland, they're going to just finally say, let's do this. It's in our hands, because right now it's in the hands of the court, it's in the hands of politicians, and the hands of corporations, and any of those entities. They don't care about us. They don't care about the little kids being beat, being neglected, being murdered, being raped, being molested by alcoholic-induced family rage. That's what's happening here. Nobody wants to address it. No one wants to speak on it, but that's what's going on here. Every single alcoholic, drunk person who goes home to the reservation, they torment. They do. And I always, in my own healing, I have to accept what I did to my own family when I was torturing myself with alcohol. And it took a lot of hard lessons and harsh lessons to pull me out of that cycle. But today, I march here every year. I come here. I want Whiteclay to know that I am their enemy. And if that goes as far as Nebraska knowing and feeling and believing I'm their enemy, so be it. Fuck them all. They don't want to address our nation and have respect for us. Well, karma's a bitch and you get what you give. I love my nation. I love the Ogallala people. We're the fiercest warrior tribe of them all. That's us. So all we can do is just try to pass on hope and inspiration and encouragement that our children, they're sacred bloodlines. They're not just tumbleweeds blowing along the earth. We have roots that go generations back to creation. This is our continent. This is ours. Every 10-year-old that sees us marching today, they know that Whiteclay's the enemy, and that's going to keep coming and keep coming. And when those 10-year-olds are 15 and 20, they're also going to be enemies of alcohol.
What are some things that people who might see this that want to get involved, want to support this cause, what are some things that they can do, or websites, or any outreach, any ways that they can get involved?
I would say, look for Nebraska's commissioners, Sheridan County. That's what county is right behind me. Start contacting them. Sheriff Terry Robbins, he's up for re-election for sheriff right now. But he's been on duty for years, and look at this place. It hasn't changed. He's not doing his job. Maybe they need to retire him, and then bring in some younger people, someone that we can relate to, someone who has compassion and who isn't drowned out with their white privilege and whatever else, I could say, but I won't. There's generational racism all around us, and I just want to say we have red supremacists too, and it won't be too hard for us to call on them and get them here either. So as young people, we'll stand back and be peaceful, but only for so long. My worst fear is for another woman to be raped here. While we were here at our camp, 2 women were raped and beaten. Like I said, there's groups of young people that come in here and they think it's fun or something, and they beat on all the street people. They come and kick them up with their cowboy boots and call them prairie niggers and worthless and, call them names. And that hurts my feelings because, whether they're blood related to me or not, they're my relatives. They're Ogallalas. They got sacred bloodlines. I don't care how drunk they are. We still fight for them, even though they will fight for Whiteclay against us. But it's just all a love for our nation. So like I said, a lot of the families here that are here today, their families, they're relatives of Ron and Wally. And we come here to remember them because just the way they died, and how they suffered. My whole life, I've always heard that term, free Peltier, free Peltier. We had posters and heard the chants my whole life. And growing up within the American Indian movement and being fortunate enough to not be colonized, I understand that the only way we will free Peltier is to break free Peltier, and so I just believe that the United States, so-called United States court systems, they're not for us.
Exactly.
They're against us, because I believe that they already know if they kill the red man, then they can have their way with our land. But wake up call. The era of the drunken, bent over Indian is over.